Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
An opinion piece in the Herald this morning by journalist Chris Harrison. And there's a picture of him with a bald head. And this is what he's talking about. People feel free to crack bald jokes, but he can't make jokes about other people's appearances. It's quite interesting, actually. He says, he'll be sitting in a room and he went in a meeting in the boardroom, the lights go off and someone says, there's enough shine coming off your old baldy over here in his cranium. And he lists 6 or 7 bald jokes. And he says, yes, ha, ha. Isn't it funny? He said, bald jokes, I've heard them all. But it's interesting. As he says, PC society is now obsessed with inclusion. You can't make jokes about people's weight, their gender, their race, their sexual orientation.
Just made this job hard, hasn't it?
I know. Well,
remember the good old days?
Well, he says we are all about these days respect and all the stuff that we've tried not to make jokes about, but baldness is still ripe for ridicule. It's interesting. He said the journey he went to going through hair loss to be bald. He said going bald was worse than being bald. And no one would make a joke about someone who's losing their hair.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't think they would. I think the jokes are, well, you've shaved your head or whatever, you're fully bald, it looks like you've chosen it, therefore there's no feelings involved. You've chosen this somehow. He says people assume making fun of a bald guy is harmless, a punchline with no real victim. They think baldness invites less emotional vulnerability than a joke about weight or appearance. But such assumptions ignore the deep personal impact that hair loss can have on self-esteem, on identity, perception of aging and virility. It's a double standard, as he said. He says, I don't want to go back to saying, we should, we were too PC. He said, I just want to point out the double standard.
Yeah, and it's a concern. As I get older, the DP, the Devon patch gets bigger.
You've got a really thick thatch.
Well, I've been lucky, but, as I get older, how old am I? 58, 57. It's not going to last there forever.
But
my dad, he had the same hair as me, and I know that he had a slight DP up until he died. And he had cancer, he had chemo and everything, and his hair still stayed in there. But it is a concern when I talk to a lot of young guys at building sites and stuff, and they'll talk about their hair. And it really worries them that they're losing their hair.
Yeah, but there's
in their
there's
20s.
A lot of pressure now on men with all the ads we have about the surgeries you can have, the cosmetic creams you can buy, all the kind of stuff. There's a lot of pressure on them to make decisions about it. But as he says, as Chris says in this article, going bald was much harder than being bald. So I think there's a vulnerability around going bald, but people feel if you're fully bald, you've made a decision, therefore you're invulnerable to the angst around it.
Jim Jeffries, the comedian, has made a lot about his thinning hair and the various pills that he's taken to keep a thick head of hair. And he was saying that women can choose to wear wigs and everyone thinks, that's just a bit of fun. But a man puts on a wig and everyone rags on it.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
And
food for thought.
That is food for thought.